Welcome back to the AI Ripple Effect podcast, everybody. Today, we're lucky enough to be joined all the way from the East Coast of the US in Boston by Richard Shure and Kylie Perales, who are the co-founders and CEOs of Vetra Technologies. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's great to be here today.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're excited to talk about our solution in AI.
Looking forward to hearing all about it and how you're leveraging artificial intelligence. But why don't we start by you sharing with us your journey to where you are today, how you came around to create Vetra Technologies, what Vetra Technologies does, and who you serve from a typical customer perspective.
Yes, Vetra Technologies, we started about a year ago. Me and Richard met through a entrepreneurship event at Boston University. And since then, we've been working on this full-time over the summer and throughout the year to bring a solution to the freight industry. What we're doing is using AI to match carriers, batchers, and trucking companies with freight that is best suited to their needs. And we're doing this with AI and machine learning techniques to really deliver the best loads to carriers.
Kind of to expand a little bit, we started when we started about a year ago. Kylie and I came across the statistic that around 30 to 40% of truck miles are driven empty, and we thought that was kind of insane coming from an industry of that plays a huge role in society today. We decided to, do a little bit of research on it, almost like just kind of a hobby, just to see where we could kind of get more information on it. And we realized there's a lot more data points that are available, but some of the smaller to mid-sized fleets, they don't have access to maybe some of the equipment or some opportunities in order to pick up loads. Vision that really started Vetra was the missed kind of opportunities that these carriers might have. And we saw a huge opportunity to really help out these carriers.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so you're mostly serving carriers and dispatchers. Is that your key audience?
Yes, this is our key audience. In the future, we could potentially see it being a two-sided platform, but for now, we're focused on the carriers and the dispatchers and connecting them with freight.
Got it. Fantastic. In your exposure to this logistics customer base, what are you picking up as the key trends currently in the logistics market?
Yes, back in the spring, we actually went to this conference. It was an amazing conference called Manifest, where we learned a lot about what was going on in the industry. And we do see that there's a lot of innovation picking up in terms of AI use and automation in general, really just trying to make the industry as efficient as possible in everything from managing the supply chain to the more logistics side of it in terms of getting freight from point A to point B. It's been great, and we see a lot in the future of this industry.
Awesome. And are you seeing any challenges generally with the marketplace? And everybody says we're in a downturn in the logistics space. Are you seeing any of that with your customers?
We're seeing that freight in general, is very cyclical in terms of what's happening at a given point in the year, in terms of if it's more towards the holiday season, for example, it really picks up. But overall, there are certain fluctuations with the tariffs and everything, but on the other hand, there is the up ramp in e-commerce and a lot of other factors that are coming into play. So we don't necessarily see it going in one direction or the other, but it is ever changing, I'd say.
And what are you seeing from an adoption of technology or appetite for adoption of technology amongst your customers? Obviously, you're a bleeding edge technology platform yourselves. Are you seeing resistance? Are you seeing more people becoming more comfortable with that as a principle?
Yeah, I think it kind of fluctuates depending on which part of the market we're looking into. I think for a lot of the smaller carriers, many of them are open to technology. A lot of times, there's been a lot of solutions that, some might be more complicated than others, some might be easier. But I think a lot of people are realizing that, in order to take advantage in this economy, they have to use some level of technology. Some of the solutions that were maybe historic revolved more around relationships. Relationships are very important in this industry, talking to people, whether it's through the loads or however it works in with the different trucking companies. But in addition to that, the technology can really help offset a lot of the cost. For instance, if they're continuing to do the normal loads that they're contracted with and that they've been working with for maybe years, maybe even decades, that some of these partnerships have been in place, they're still dealing with a lot of inefficiencies, because the one thing that's completely 100% of the time true in the trucking industry is they're paying for gas, they're paying for insurance, they're paying for the drivers, but they're not always loaded. And so we think as technology's been advancing, and as Kylie and I have been building more of our platform, people have been a lot more open than maybe even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but even in the last year, especially as technology has improved.
Yeah, and the way we see it in terms of the relationships of the past, in terms of how that was a big factor for really making a stance in the industry, having these relationships, we see technology as a way to make that easier and as a way to reinforce those relationships because it brings a lot of clarity to the chaos that can be happening in this fragmented industry.
No, it's a great response for sharing. And what about drilling into specific areas of technology? What is your take on artificial intelligence in the logistics industry?
We think that artificial intelligence can bring a lot of centrality to all the different things that are happening in logistics because it makes it a lot easier to see certain patterns in freight more clearly. Like for us specifically, what our technology does is really present the loads that are best suited to carriers in a way that is much more clear than them having to sort through a bunch of information that's presented to them because it makes it a lot more time sensitive and it makes it a lot easier for them to figure out what freight they want to take.
And I think the main thing that using artificial intelligence, because that word can be scary to a lot of people who maybe are been in the industry a long time. A lot of people think artificial intelligence might take over. They have there could be a negative um, kind of thing around that. But the truth is, with artificial intelligence, it empowers the carriers to do what's best for them. Whether they want to be working more time on the road, whether they want to be home with their family more, whatever it is, using artificial intelligence and using load matching tools that never really existed in history up until the last couple of years really allows carriers, owner operators, dispatchers to really use available information and help them make better decisions. It's almost like a partner for them. It's not, some people view it as a takeover. We view artificial intelligence as a partner in which it can really help increase efficiency and boost revenue for them.
That's a great response. And how do you help your customers on that journey of comprehension that this actually isn't the enemy? This is something which is going to help their business.
Yeah, we really show them, first of all, what the solution can do for them and how it can do it for them. And what this looks like to us in terms of dispatchers, for example, which are one of the users of our platforms, is they work alongside the technology and use it in their day-to-day tasks, what they're doing with searching for the loads. And we present it to them in a way that shows them that it's a tool for them to use and it's not something that's taking over their job in any way. And it is really useful for saving them time and allowing them to just do a better job with their company.
Awesome. No, thanks for sharing. That's super intuitive. In your obviously you're a young company, but you are making great progress. So in the last, say, 12 months or so, what have been the key challenges in your growth cycle that you've encountered, and how have you overcome those?
Well, I'd say some key challenges we have run into is figuring out exactly how our customer might view our solution because as it's a new technology, we don't know exactly how it would be received. But how we dealt with this is really talking to our customer as much as possible. The main ways we've done that has been going to different logistics conferences, which we feel has been very helpful in exposing ourselves to our customer and having a lot of conversations with them. So that's been very helpful in navigating that.
We also, with our business particularly, we feel it's a strong win-win, whether you're a carrier, whether you're a shipper, whatever your platform you really are. If you're using Vetra, we help you win more. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of different ways that dispatchers look for loads. Like we were saying earlier, relationships are very important, but we're really there to help increase their revenue and help them. And so, in terms of challenges we've had, there's always challenges when you start a business integrating the software. In terms of like the technology, there's obviously a ton of challenges that we've run into, but it's just about continuing to go through it. And we found a lot of great mentors, and it's been wonderful going to these different events in the industry. The thing that pretty much everybody has said to us is it is a big issue. When 30% of trucks are empty, that's a big issue. It hasn't fully been solved yet, but it's been a big issue. And so that really validates what we're doing. And we're very excited as we continue to make edits to our product.
Excellent. And if you had a time machine, hypothetically speaking, and were able to go back to where you started from, would there be anything you'd change, or are you happy the way everything's turned out?
There's always certain things you could look back on and think, oh, we could have done this better. We could have done this in a different way. But we think that a lot of things have brought us to where we are today. And it's important that we went through them to be where we are. It's always a learning experience.
At the end of the day, this has been an incredible learning experience. And what we're doing, the most important thing in what we're doing is the customer. The most important person that we're dealing with is the customer. So I probably wouldn't go back in the time machine because there's been several different things that we've maybe encountered or some challenges, but that's the best way to learn and go forward is to come across that, and that way we can build a product that really makes sense for the marketplace.
No, great answer. Okay, so you are where you are, you're poised, ready for growth. It sounds like you've got product market fit. What are the next 12 to 24 months hold for you guys? What are your key milestones for growth that you're looking at?
Yeah, so something we're very excited about is we've been working on building this product for the past few months, and we will be launching this fall. So that's the biggest thing on our plate right now. And after that, I mean, we're excited to take in a lot of customer feedback and really just improve the product as much as possible because that's what a company should always do is really look out for its customer and how the product is working for them. That's what we're most excited for at the moment.
Awesome. And for the guys out there watching and listening who want to find out more about Vetra Technologies and what you guys do, where can they find that information?
Yeah, so we have our website, which is vetratechnologies.com. And we also have our Instagram, and we have a Twitter. We will be making a YouTube channel soon.
Awesome. Are you guys, you're on LinkedIn, I guess?
So I
Yes,
like that.
LinkedIn too.
Good. Well, I'll make sure that we include all those links into the description of the podcast when we put it out so that everybody out there who are very keen to find out, I'm sure, more about what Vetra Technologies do can access that information. But listen, thank you, Kylie and Richard, very much for your participation and your insights. It's been fascinating, and really looking forward to seeing what Vetra Technologies are going to do over the next 12 months or so. It sounds as though you're poised for growth. Thank you to everybody out there for watching this episode of the AI Ripple Effect podcast. See you in the next episode. But for now, from Vetra Technologies, Kylie and Richard, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Adrian.
you.
It was really great to be on this podcast. You have a great podcast, and it was a great honor to be here today.
Great to have you. Bye-bye.